And hello, everybody, and welcome to Sports Hits with cwit. Happy to have you here today. Got a great show planned for you guys today, so stick around because it's going to be a good one here today. And make sure to follow us on Twitter, Steel City Sport 4. Again, that's Steel City Sport 4. Charlie and I control that account and post anything NFL related and sports related, but we mainly focus on Pittsburgh sports most of the time. So let's get started. But first, hit the music. And nice to have you guys back with us here on Sports Hits with cwit. So I'm going to get started here and talk about a little baseball. As you may know, the Cardinals won yesterday. I think the final was 13-1, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 13-3. That game was kind of irrelevant if you think about it. Cardinals just destroyed them since the first inning. 10 runs in the first inning. How the hell do you let that happen, Grace? How the hell does it happen? How? You're raving about this Acuna guy, Ozzy Albers, Mike Soroka, Sean Newcomb, Mike Sawakix, or whatever the heck his name is, and you give up 10 runs in the first inning. Sheesh. And then we'll go to the later game. The Nationals beat the Dodgers 7-3 in a shocking extra innings home run, grand slam, by Howie Kendrick. He was batting at the 5-hole that game. He went 1 for 5 in that game, but he got the most important hit of the night with those 5 RBIs. Now, what are my thoughts on this game? Dave Roberts. You may know him. You may have heard of him. You may not know him. I'll give you a quick reminder. Dave Roberts is the Dodgers manager. And he's had questionable calls. He has. But I mean, what are you gonna? Why the hell would you put Kershaw in? The game's going well. You know Kershaw isn't a good pitcher in the playoffs, and he's not having the best year this year. So why the hell would you put him in? What hell? I'll tell you a little bit about Dave Roberts. He played in 2008. As you may know, for that 30-30, the 4 days in October, he was the guy who was stealing second base all the time against the Yankees back in 2004. When they came back from the eventful 3-1 lead that the Yankees had, and they came back and went on to win the World Series that year versus the Cardinals. So he has some experience, but he got hired as the Dodgers manager in 2016, went for 91-71. I think they lost in the playoffs. I'm not sure to who, but and then in 2017 he had a much better year. Went 104-58. They won that pennant that year. They lost to the Astros in the World Series, but you think, oh, it's okay because the Astros were good that year. They were good that year. They're very good. Then you think, 2018 is going to be the year. He comes out with 92-71, leads his team back to another pennant win, but then loses 4-1 to the Boston Red Sox. And then this year he was 106-56 and gets knocked out in the first round. How hard is it to manage a baseball team, folks? How hard is it? I mean, how the hell is it hard? How the hell is it hard? How? Why the hell would you go with Kershaw? Games flow's going well. I'll pull up Kershaw's stat line just to squeeze it in. We'll go. Walker Buehler went 6 2/3 pitching, allowed 4 hits, 1 earned runs, 3 base on balls, and 7 strikeouts. So pretty good night. Then they went to Kershaw, and this is where things kind of went away for the Dodgers. He got 1 out, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 strikeout. A guy that's going to be a Hall of Famer, won multiple Cy Youngs. You can't even get 3 outs in 1 inning. They had to go to Jansen. You kidding me, right? And then Joe Kelly came in and let up 3 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 balls, base on balls, and 2 strikeouts as well. This Dodger bullpen, I talked about it in my other podcast a couple months ago on Sportscaster. This Dodger bullpen is awful. I mean, they're awful. They did pull the plug for Felipe Vasquez, which now is looking like a good move because the guy's locked behind bars. But you would have had two of the top 5 relievers in the league in Kenley Jansen and Felipe Vasquez on your team. You could make an argument that maybe the Dodgers would get Felipe Vasquez out of this situation. I don't think it's right, but maybe they would. Who the hell knows? It's the Dodgers. Dave Roberts, you're given all this money. All this money. And you can't coach a baseball team. Can't. Your opening day salary was at $206 million. Magic did his job. He did his job. General manager did his job. Now it's just baseball. What can you do? A first-round exit to the Washington Nationals, who have... How did they beat the Dodgers? Washington Nationals, they have their own playoff problems. Seems like they haven't won a playoff game since 2008. Probably true. Doesn't Bryce Harper look like an idiot? He goes and accepts 13 years, $330 million. And what's his result? Sitting at home on October 10th, waiting for Thursday Night Football to kick off, eating soup. That's what Bryce Harper's doing. And it's expensive soup, I'll give him that. But wouldn't you rather have quality over money? You may not get the reference. What's the most important part of baseball? Some say maybe it's money. Some say maybe it's winning. Team players, great ones say it's winning. Selfish people say it's money. Bryce Harper, he's selfish. Very selfish. Very selfish. He tries hard, I'll give him that. He tries hard. He's selfish. He's selfish. So, moving on to the conference championship, we have the Yankees and either the Astros and Rays. That game's tonight at 8. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. Don't fact check me on this one, but it's gonna be the Yankees or the Rays and the Astros. And then on the NL side, that was just the AL. You got the Cardinals and you got the Nationals. I'm just going to say this. This does not look good for the MLB. This does not look good for the MLB. I'll give you that. The ratings are going to go down. No one wants to see Jack Flaherty pitch. He might be a great pitcher. The brother can pitch, but he's not going to pull in views. They want to see this matchup with the Cody Bellinger, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, all those pitchers, Clayton Kershaw. They want to see him in the World Series. They don't want to see no Jack Flaherty, Carlos Martinez, Daniel Hudson, whatever the hell his name is, Sean Doolittle. They don't want to see that. They want the Yankees and Dodgers to be in it because they got the 2 biggest payrolls in baseball. 2 biggest payrolls. No one wants to see the Cardinals. Who wants to see the Cardinals? Cardinals fans probably do. Well, why the hell would you want to see the Cardinals if you were an MLB fan wanting to watch good baseball? You wouldn't. You wouldn't. You want to see all these star power and Carlos Stanton go up against Cody Bellinger. All those guys. Corey Seager. Jock Peterson. All those guys. You don't want to see any of the Cardinals play. Any of them. Any of them. So, I leave you with this last point of this segment. The Cardinals and the Nationals, moving on, might be the worst thing for baseball. Might be the worst thing for baseball. No one didn't want to watch that. They want to watch football. They see the Dodgers are out. Cody Bellinger, they're not seeing Cody Bellinger hit. They're not seeing Clayton Kershaw pitch. They're not seeing Walker Buehler. They're not seeing Ronald Acuna. They're not seeing Freddie Freeman. They're not seeing Ozzy Alvarez. Not seeing Nick Markakis. Not seeing Mike Soroka. They're going to turn that channel off, go to NFL Network, and watch the Thursday night game. It'd be worse. It would be horrible for baseball if the Astros lose tonight. I know the baseball commissioner and the baseball front office, the MLB front office, they want Astros win this game bad. They need them. Or else their views will go straight down. Straight down. Straight down. Ain't nobody want to watch a Rays, Cardinals, or even Rays, Nationals World Series. They're going to turn that channel off and go to NFL Network. Here at the top of the hour on Sports Hits with cwit. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast, all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And hello, welcome back everybody to Sports Hits with cwit. It's nice to have you guys back with us. And we're going to talk some football here. You know, the NFL is going in their 6th week, and we're seeing rookie quarterbacks surprise us. And I'm not talking about a top draft pick, Kyler Murray, Dwayne Haskins even. I'm not talking Daniel Jones, you could say, has been impressive, but we're talking about like 6th-round guys. One of them, Mustache Minshew. Mustache Minshew has turned around this Jaguar season after most thought. When Nick Foles went down, Jags were thinking, oh, season's over. Season's over. Season's over. None of y'all were thinking. You got an undrafted quarterback in Kyle Allen. Went to school at Texas A&M. How's he doing? He's done phenomenal. You're going to rate him over Cam Newton? No. You're going to rate Minshew over Nick Foles? You could say Minshew. Is Minshew great? He's good, but he's sort of small. He's kind of small. He's 6'1". Baker Mayfield's height. Foles is 6'6". Let's get to Baker. Baker is the most overrated quarterback coming out of college since Jamarcus Russell. I know you're thinking, his rookie year showed why he was the number 1 pick. What was their record, their rookie year? 7-8-1. I mean, that's not a Super Bowl team. I know you're going to say it's the Browns, and the Browns suck. You're right. Baker could have used another year of Baker could have used another year at Oklahoma. The talent he produces is unbelievable. Kyler Murray, Lincoln Riley, heck of a coach. He's making Jalen Hurts look like a top 5 pick in this draft. I mean, he's not going to be. Jalen Hurts is not a good. He's not an NFL quarterback. He's a good college quarterback, but again, he's playing in the Big 12, making the defense look like fools. He's making the defense look like fools. Kyler Murray last year, no one thought he would be good. He would be okay, but he's not going to be great. He made out all the Big 12 defenses look like fools, and he was the number 1 pick. The number 1 pick, the Cardinals down there with Cliff Kingsbury. With Barry Fitzgerald down there, Steve Keim with the Cardinals. Baker, less time with commercials, more time on the field. I said this in the other podcast. Why the hell is he on the commercial? He's not Peyton Manning. He hasn't won shit. Kidding me? He hasn't won anything. 7-8-1? That's winning something? Sheesh. I don't know, he's cocky. And it seems like every time the camera zooms in on my guy Baker, it seems like he's more overweight every single time. He's getting fatter every single time. He's slow. He is very slow. He can't move out the pocket. He's not athletic. His accuracy is like skyrocketed down. Everyone thought, what do you guys think of when he was drafted from Oklahoma? High swagger guy. He could bring swagger to the locker room. Most accurate quarterback in the class. That's all coming from Lincoln Riley. That wasn't traits that Baker Mayfield built. That's not Baker at all. That's Lincoln Riley. The football mind of Lincoln Riley got where Baker Mayfield needed to be and where Kyler Murray needed to be, and now where Jalen Hurts needs to be. 2 number 1 picks back to back. Call me crazy, but Lincoln Riley's a heck of a coach. He's going to get a job sooner than later. Either that, he's going to stay in Oklahoma till like Saban's years. Baker, go spend the off seasons with Lincoln Riley. He'll teach you everything you need to know, kid. Lose some weight while you're at it. Keep off the ice cream. Keep off whatever the hell you're eating. All these commercials, DirecTV, and whatever the hell it's called. Stay off. Progressive, all that. You called Daniel Jones, who's arguably having a better season than you, like trash. You know how rude that is? You know how rude that is? You're going to say, I cannot believe the Giants took Daniel Jones. Blows my mind. Some people overthink it. That's where people go wrong. They forget you got to win. And what does Daniel Jones respond with? I love Baker. He's a great player. Stinks that he doesn't think of me so high. A classy move. A classy move. That's why Daniel Jones can have a better career than Baker Mayfield. Call me crazy. I'd love for you to. I'd love to have this argument with you guys. You're going to take Baker. I don't think you know this, but because you got all the things running in your head about how cocky and how good you are. But when you were drafted for the Browns, no one thought you were the right pick. Hell, they had Sam Darnold right there from USC. They had Josh Allen, who's arguably better than you. Josh Rosen could even be better than you, Baker. You're 6'1". You run like a 5'40". You can't move that pocket. You're not athletic. Your accuracy's going down. What the hell do you have to talk for? How about a quarterback from Duke? What are you going to talk for? That you're a walk-on? No one cares about your walk-on, Baker. So don't talk about Daniel Jones ever again. Don't not shake hands with Richard Sherman. It's not a classy move. It's not a classy move at all. Playoff what were the Browns' expectations this year? Super Bowl. Super Bowl. That's all Browns fans were thinking. We got Baker Mayfield. We got Odell Beckham Jr. We got Jarvis Landry. We got Olivier Vernon. Myles Garrett. All those guys on defense. Denzel Ward. Greedy Williams. They got Freddie Kitchens, though. Freddie Kitchens, a horrible coach. They got an O-line that gets obliterated every single play. And Baker's not athletic to get out of that. You know who's athletic? Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is more athletic than Baker Mayfield. Daniel Jones got a better arm than Baker Mayfield. Daniel Jones is 6'6" and might even be skinnier than Baker Mayfield. You're kidding me. Daniel Jones is 220. What's Baker? Baker 6'1", 209. That's 11 pounds off. 11 pounds off. Daniel Jones is 6'5", Baker 6'1". That's 11 pounds off. Know how bad that looks for Baker? Or maybe Daniel Jones is skinny. It just might be. Just might be. Just might be. Eli Manning's 218. You call him skinny? Peyton's 230. Tom Brady's 6'4", 225. You call that man skinny? Cam Newton's 6'5", 245. Cam Newton's a tank. You call Baker Mayfield skinny? That guy is thick as can be. Stay off the ice cream, Baker. Stay off it. Not good for ya. And also, don't bring your wife in for clout. No one in the world gives a crap about your wife. You might. Your family might. Good for you. Have a great relationship. Stay off the commercials. No one cares that your wife can't find your phone and you have to turn all the damn lights off before she can find her phone. No one cares about that. Stop bringing your family into this. It's a problem you got yourself into and you got to get out. You got to get out. From one division to another. What the hell is wrong with the Falcons? I'm going to tell you real simple what I think is wrong with the Atlanta Falcons starting at 1-4, looking pretty solid after Drew Brees got hurt, Cam Newton got hurt, and they were left with Kyle Allen, Jameis Winston, and Teddy Bridgewater, and they got Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Devontae Freeman, all those guys on the offense. They were thinking, oh, that's another division win for the Falcons. Hell no, it's not. No, why? Because they got Dan Quinn, one of the worst coaches in the NFL. He fired his coordinators. He fired all three of them. Think about firing yourself, Dan Quinn. Think about firing yourself. He's horrible. He's horrible. They don't have talent. They have okay talent. Keanu O'Neal's out for the year. That hurts. Hurts. Deion Jones is underperforming, you could say. Matt Ryan can't seem to get Julio the ball. Offensive line is okay. Run game seems to not work. Austin Hooper's one fluke. Grady Jarrett, he's done okay. Not great. Desmond Trefont's done okay. Not great. It's just the Falcons' way of thinking they won. It's 9-7, 7-9, 8-8. That's the way the Falcons think that they were successful. 8-8, 500 year, above 500 year, a little below 500 year. They're fine with it. They're satisfied. As long as they got people come to their stadium, they don't give a shit. They don't care. They don't care. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with a new segment I like to call Keep It Dumb, Coach and QB. Here on Sports Hits with cwit on Anchor. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sports Hits with cwit. I'm your host, Colin Whitty, and we're going to talk about two teams battling for basically Tua Tagovailoa. We got the Dolphins and the Redskins. Now, I feel like these two teams are different. They both need a rebuild, let's be honest. I don't know if Dwayne Haskins is the answer for the Redskins. He didn't look good at all. It could be another Josh Rosen situation where if they get the number 1 pick and Tua's there, or whoever they want is there, they might trade Haskins. And speaking of Josh Rosen, what are the Dolphins going to do with Josh Rosen? He's done okay, but he hasn't done great. I mean, he doesn't have a team. It's not his fault. There's two ways you can look at this offseason. Dolphins obviously are in bigger need of a rebuild than the Redskins are. Redskins got Landon Collins. They got all those guys on D. They got Montez Sweat, all those Alabama defensive linemen. But they're okay for the future. They could use another corner maybe. Kendall Fuller. Why not? So it's just for a little segment. There's two teams that are rebuilding this year. A couple. Redskins and the Dolphins. It's not that difficult. You look at their teams, what are their needs? Coach? I don't think Brian Flores is the option. Hell, Dre Gruden wasn't even the option. How's Brian Flores going to be the option? He was only good on the Patriots because of Belichick. He didn't call any plays. He didn't do anything on the Patriots. Who's Belichick's water boy, if you think about it? No, you're going to say he's the heart and soul of that defense. I don't care. If you can't get your guys riled up and ready to go and everyone requests a trade out for week 1, you got problems. You got a lot of problems. So introducing our new game. Keep it dumb, coach and QB. How's this game's going to go? I'm going to go through every coach and every QB in the league, National Football League, and I'm going to tell you what are my thoughts about them. So let's get started here. Arizona Cardinals, Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray. Kyler, I like him. I like Kyler. I wasn't a big Kyler fan out of college. I thought he was too small. He couldn't see over the pocket, but he's proved me wrong over these past couple of games. He's done well. He's a scrambler. He fits Kingsbury's offense very well, and it just works out for the Cardinals after trading up to go get Josh Rosen, and the result is Kyler Murray. Cliff Kingsbury, the guy got fired from Texas Tech, but he has an offensive scheme that's kind of bright. He's no Sean McVay kind of wizard, but it's okay. It's not great, but it could work out anytime soon. But this team is not anywhere close to a playoff appearance or even a Super Bowl run at this point. The Atlanta Falcons, Dan Quinn. I'm not a Dan Quinn fan at all. I think he's going to get fired after this year. I said that earlier in my podcast. But Dan Quinn, he's 37-32. He lost the Super Bowl versus Patriots, blowing a 28-3 lead. He's not the future. He said below 500 years, past 2 years since the Super Bowl. Maybe even those 3 years, but he's going to get fired. Matt Ryan, he's okay. You can't really do a lot with Matt Ryan. He's kind of like, he's in his prime, you could say. He's done well over the past couple of years. Good fantasy quarterback. He's 34 years old. How many more years do you think he has in him? Plus, he has a good connection with Julio Jones, which is the main point in that offense. Baltimore Ravens and John Harbaugh. Lamar Jackson and John Harbaugh, they're fantastic. I don't think I need to explain much about this one. I explained it in my podcast the other day when I compared Tom and the other coaches. John Harbaugh is a top 5 coach in the NFL. Don't at me on that one. And Lamar Jackson, if he gets a pass, could be one of the top upcoming quarterbacks in the NFL. So good all around so far, except for Dan Quinn. Buffalo Bills, Sean McDermott, and Josh Allen. Sean McDermott's an okay coach. He has a good defense. Josh Allen, I love Josh Allen. I loved him around Wyoming. I thought he would be a perfect fit to take over from Big Ben and the Steelers. The accuracy is an issue, but who cares? If he gets that fix, he'll become a great quarterback in this league. He's very athletic. He's still a little raw, but he's still got time because they're still in a rebuild process down there in Buffalo, but we'll see what can go on. But this one is I like it. I like what the Bills are doing so far. Carolina Panthers, Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera's another coach who I think could be on the hot seat anytime soon. It seems like he hasn't done much since that Super Bowl run back when they lost to the Broncos because of Von Miller. They couldn't get a left tackle to save their life. But nonetheless, Cam Newton is not the answer either. They got Listen, I don't think this Kyle Allen guy is great, but he's winning football games, and all he has to do is give it to Christian McCaffrey in the backfield and let Christian McCaffrey do his work. So it's not that hard to be Kyle Allen at this point. Make a couple throws here and there. Chicago Bears, Matt Nagy and Mitchell Trubisky. Matt Nagy's a pretty good coach. He won AP Coach of the Year award. He's 15-6, won NFC North Championship, won playoff berth. He's only in his second year as a coach, but I don't think Mitchell Trubisky is the answer. There's so much better options in that draft class. Patrick Mahomes being one of them, Deshaun Watson being one of them. But they traded up for Trubisky at number 3 when they probably could have gotten him at 3. They traded their second round picks who could have been real talent that they could have gotten to benefit their team, but they didn't. They traded up being stupid like the Bears obviously are. So, and given this one, a yes on the quarterback, no on the yes on the coach, no on the quarterback. Cincinnati Bengals, Zach Taylor. He's off to not a great start, 0-5, but he's still young. He's still developing. He's still 30, 31, 30. I don't know how old he is. But he's got a system. He's 36 years old. He's going to be the next Sean McVay. Sean McVay's a little bit younger than this guy, but if he fits with the Bengals, and who knows what can happen. Andy Dalton's not the answer for the future. Cleveland Browns, Freddie Kitchens. He's had some good offensive play calls, but he's not going to take the role of defense. He's getting pounded left and right. He's not established an offensive line. Baker Mayfield doesn't seem like he's the answer, but it's still early in Freddie and Baker's career, so it's hard to tell. I'll give this one a yes. Dallas Cowboys, Jason Garrett will be gone after this year if they do not win or make the Super Bowl. Seems like this guy is always holding them back. You call Tomlin a cheerleader. You should really look at what Jason Garrett does when his team gets a good play. He's just clapping. He's not telling them to do anything. He's just chewing his bubble gum. But Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. I'm going to get to him in a minute. He should be paid, and he will be paid. Jerry will back in to give him Dak 35, maybe even 40 a year. But we'll see what happens at the end of the day. But I give a yes on the quarterback, no on the head coach. Denver Broncos, Vic Fangio. This is a straight no. Vic Fangio, they brought him in as a defense coach, and the defense hasn't done much. They gave up 26 points to Gardner Minshew the other day. Joe Flacco is not the answer. Obviously, they thought it could be another rental year like Peyton Manning was. Just be good enough to take them to the Super Bowl. Hopefully that defense carries them all the way like they did in the year versus Carolina when Von Miller had a strip sack. But this is an aging team. They got to find a younger option. And I think Drew Lock, their second-round draft pick, 42nd overall from Missouri, could be that option, but they got to give him play time. Detroit Lions, Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia's a pretty good coach. He's trying to establish what the Patriots – he's kind of copying the Patriots, let's be honest. He's trying to copy what Belichick does. He's went out and signed Danny Amendola, all those guys. They signed LeGarrette Blount, couple last year, I think. They signed Trey Flowers, trying to copy Bill Belichick, but there's only one Bill Belichick, Matt Patricia, but he's off to a pretty good start this year. Matthew Stafford, I think, is a very good quarterback. For what he's paid, no, you may think he's a little overrated, but this guy wins games, and he's not had a team, and he hasn't complained once yet. So Matthew Stafford's a good option for the Lions at this point in their head coaching days. Green Bay Packers, Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers. This might be the new Sean McVay, Jared Goff. Matt LaFleur, obviously coming from the Rams, a new offensive-minded coach. Given Aaron Rodgers with them, future Hall of Famer and Aaron Rodgers, it's hard to mess up on. Only Mike McCarthy could do that, and that's why Mike McCarthy is still unemployed. But you're going to have to have a pretty good start. Matt LaFleur is 4-1 in this year. Aaron Rodgers looking like prime Aaron Rodgers. But we'll see what this team can do, especially when it comes to playoff time. And Matt LaFleur, the 30-year-old, will be challenged by all those NFC teams. Houston Texans, Bill O'Brien and Deshaun Watson. I like Deshaun Watson as a player. He's not really great yet. Obviously, he's not given an offensive line to do it. Obviously, they went on and traded for Laramie Tunsil and Kenny Still to give up their future to do that. But we'll see if it pays out at the end of the day. But Bill O'Brien is kind of holding Deshaun Watson back. I think he's another quarterback. I mean, he's another coach that could be on the hot seat at the end of this year. But we'll see what happens down there in Houston. He's 45-40. He has 3 AFC South championships, but with that division, that's not saying much, ladies and gentlemen. Indianapolis Colts Frank Reich and Jacoby Brissett. Keep these 2 names in mind. These 2 names are going to be very good. Jacoby Brissett looks like a franchise quarterback. What he did to Kansas City in that defense, just running the ball right down his throats, make them stop it. Frank Reich's also a very good coach. He's been a coordinator a while. He was the Eagles offensive coordinator until he took the job to be the Colts head coach. And with the bullet they took with the Andrew Luck retirement, it's pretty goddamn impressive what this Colts team has done over the past couple of weeks. Jacksonville Jaguars, Doug Marrone, and you could say Gardner Minshew, even Nick Foles. I think Gardner could be the future. He might be another Baker Mayfield one-hit wonder, if I would say. But Baker's still young in his career. We'll see what he can do. But Gardner has similar traits to Baker. They're both in the smaller end, but their accuracy is pretty good. We'll see. Gardner obviously needs to come from Lincoln Riley. He might have a little better accuracy, but Doug Marrone is 18-21. He has 1 AFC South championship. He beat the Steelers 1 year. He won playoff berth. His defense is going to be consistent year in and year out, but I don't know if he's a long-term option, but maybe even Gardner Minshew could be a long-term option. Kansas City Chiefs, Andy Reid, and Patrick Mahomes. I don't think I need to explain much from Patrick Mahomes. He might be the best quarterback in the league. And Andy Reid, I think this guy is holding this team back. Can't remember the last time this guy has run a playoff game besides last year versus Colts. But nonetheless, the point is, Andy Reid's a good coach, but they can get better, in my opinion. Los Angeles Chargers, Anthony Lynn, and Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers, some say he's a Hall of Famer, some say, hell no, he's not a Hall of Famer. But that's still to be determined. Phillip Rivers, he's a pretty good talent. His contract's coming up this year. Tyrod Taylor may take over after this year, and they may look for a quarterback in the draft. But we'll see what the Chargers do. Anthony Lynn's a pretty good coach. He's 23-14 with 1 playoff berth. Got smoked by the Patriots. So sir, this team is fairly young, but they're still very unproven. Sean McVay, you know what you're going to get from him. Sean McVay is a pretty good coach. He's one of the best coaches in the league. And Jared Goff is a pretty good quarterback, if you ask me. Miami Dolphins, Brian Flores, and Josh Rosen. Don't think I need to explain much for this one, Matt. They're both bad. Minnesota Vikings, Mike Zimmer and Kirk Cousins. This 2 duos is a hard pass to me. Kirk Cousins doesn't seem like the franchise quarterback that they seemed when they were going to get in the 2017 offseason. He struggled over the years. He's had a atrocious offensive line to back him up. He isn't getting the ball in his playmakers' hands. He's missed the playoffs the first year they got him. So everything's going down from this for this Vikings organization. But Mike Zimmer seems like his defensive mind is kind of run out. He's kind of hit his time where he kind of maybe hangs up the cleats or maybe hangs up the headsets. But we'll see what Mike Zimmer could do this year. But they got to make the playoffs for Zimmer and even Kirk Cousins to have their job in that organization. Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, you know what they're going to get from him. Doesn't need to explain much on that. New Orleans Saints, Sean Payton's a pretty good coach. Very good coach. 1 Super Bowl, 1 NFC championship, 5 NFC South championships, 7 playoff berths, 1 AP Coach of the Year award. He's 122-75. He's got a future Hall of Fame quarterback in Drew Brees, but it's decision time when it comes down to Drew Brees. And obviously, Drew Brees got hurt, and Teddy Bridgewater's taken over and has led them to an undefeated record since he was the quarterback so far. So he's done pretty well. You ask me, pretty well. We'll see what Teddy can do. Obviously, they got a big decision to choose from Teddy Bridgewater or Drew Brees in this offseason. But we'll see when time comes. But these are 2 legends in the NFL. New York Giants, Pat Shurmur and Daniel Jones. It's hard to tell between these 2. Pat Shurmur obviously coming from the offense coordinator of the Minnesota Vikings. He's done well so far for what the team he's had. His defense is atrocious, but that's not what they hired him for. They hired him for the explosive offense, and they look like they're using Saquon Barkley well down there in New York. And they got a bright future with that quarterback, Daniel Jones. New York Jets, Adam Gase, and Sam Darnold. Adam Gase, I didn't really like this hire that much. I thought there were better coaches out there. I thought you could even rank Mike McCarthy over him. But Sam Darnold is very, very unproven. Seems like this guy is very quiet. Just had mono for 4 weeks, for God's sake. But whatever. Have fun with 7 and 9 seasons, New York Jets. Oakland Raiders, knock on wood if you're with me. John Gruden and Derek Carr, they're one of the more poor QBs, I guess you could say. Derek Carr doesn't seem like the answer since he was that MVP season until he got hurt. He broke his thumb that year, and he seemed to decline every single year. But this team is 3-2. They're winning games. No one's complaining so far. Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz, they're a good duo. Good duo. If Wentz could stay healthy, it would be one of the best duos in the NFL, but obviously that's not the case. Steelers, Mike Tomlin, and I guess you could say Mason Rudolph. Mike Tomlin did a pretty good job adapting to all these injuries. I mean, what more can you ask for in a 1-4 football team? Their defense has been playing well. The offense, a couple boo-boos here and there, but Mike Tomlin's not calling offensive plays, ladies and gentlemen. That's Randy Fichtner. San Francisco 49ers, this team's going to be remember this team. This team's going to be very good in the future. Kyle Shanahan, the young coach in the 30s. Jimmy Garoppolo's in the 20s. And this team's already 4-0, so look out for those 49ers down there in San Francisco. Seattle Seahawks, they got one of the coach's legends, Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is a future Hall of Famer, but they're good. They're good. 1 Super Bowl, 1 NFC Championship, 4 NFC West Championships, and 7 playoff berths for Pete Carroll. He also has a 93-55 record, but we'll see what he can do this year. Obviously, they just acquired Jadeveon Clowney, so that will help their defense, but they still got to get over the top. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Bruce Arians is a very good coach. He got fired from the Cardinals, but it seems like he didn't fit their fifth system last year. He's got a new football team this year with the Tampa Bay Bucs. He's got an explosive offense with Jameis Winston, who's done fairly well so far this year. They've got Mike Evans, they've got Chris Godwin, Ronald Jones, and they got the defense anchoring with Devin White and all those guys down there. So this could be a team to watch this year, especially with that weak division. Tennessee Titans, Mike Vrabel, have fun with 8-8, Marcus Mariota and Mike Vrabel. And the Washington Redskins, I don't even touch them. So that's going to wrap up that segment of Keep It Dumb, Coach and QB. And when we get back, we're going to go into a new segment called Call Me Crazy for Fantasy. All right, welcome back to Sports Hits with cwit. And this is going to be a new segment called Call Me Crazy, and this is from the good Football Fantasy Live on NFL Network. I'm starting to copy him, but who cares? Let's get started. Call me crazy, but DeAndre Hopkins will finish out of the top 10 in receivers. This guy needs Will Fuller. Let's be honest. He needs Will Fuller to open up the offense because they got to play 2 safeties on him, and this guy, he can't really beat double coverage. So it's a relatively tough year for DeAndre Hopkins, especially with the time Deshaun Watson is given, and they're trying to get him the ball, but they're not really succeeding with it. Call me crazy, but Kelsey will not be a top 5 tight end at the end of the season. You saw him on Sunday Night Football. Everyone saw him. He looked raggedy as hell. His routes weren't crisp. He didn't look good at all. He got in a fight with his offensive coordinator. Then he went and hugged him. But who cares? That stuff catches on. What do you think Antonio Brown's not on a football team for? He got in a fight with Randy Fichtner early on in the year. Call me crazy, but Alvin Kamara will not be a top 7 running back. This guy, there's better running backs out there. You're seeing what Christian McCaffrey's doing every week. You're seeing what, Dalvin Cook's doing every week. But this guy is not very consistent. To his credit, I haven't watched all the Saints game already. I haven't really had time to watch any of the Saints game. But the point is, I look at his fantasy stats every week. It's consistent 16, maybe even 20 once in a while. But this guy's got to catch up or else he ain't going to be a top 7 running back at the end of the year. And call me crazy, but Ronald Jones will finish as a top 20 back. Coming in, Ronald Jones is a ground and pound runner, is a great player coming out of USC down there in Southern California. But he struggled with pass catching, and with this modern day of football, you got to catch the ball if you're a running back, especially if you draft one like PPR league for fantasy league. But we'll see what he can do. They got Peyton Barber down there. He seems like he's taking over the role of that number one back, but we'll see what can happen. So that's my 4 call me crazies. We'll get that back next week. But we're gonna preview NFL free agency, and we're gonna go through 12 guys who I think are probably the best free agents, I would say. But we're gonna go through them one by one, and I'm gonna tell you, money or no. Number 1, Dak Prescott. Pay the damn man. Pay the damn man. He's consistent as hell. He's a pretty good quarterback. He leads you to playoffs every year. He doesn't have a coach to do it. He just got Kellen Moore. He just got Amari Cooper. He has Ezekiel Elliott back. His defense isn't up to par. Pay him. Whether he wants 30, 35, 40, maybe even 20. Pay the damn man. Phillip Rivers. Give him 1 year deal. 1 year deal, all I would give him. Doesn't seem like he's mobile around the pocket. He can't move out the pocket. If you collapse pocket on him, he can't move out the way. This guy's old, and I think he only has 1 more good year for the Chargers. Drew Brees. Controversial one, but where's Teddy Bridgewater at? Where's Teddy? It's the Teddy Bridgewater show. No one gives a damn about Drew Brees anymore. It's Teddy. No one cares. If Teddy keeps winning, Drew Brees might not be on a team next year. Well, he probably will, but he ain't going to be on the Saints. When the Saints come marching in, when Drew Brees doesn't come marching in, we'll see what happens. AJ Green. Where the hell are the Pats at? This guy's going to get a 1 year deal from the Patriots anytime. They're probably going to trade him for like a 7th round pick, and he's going to be the hump they need to get another Super Bowl to surpass the Steelers, which will piss me off. But it's what's going to happen. Amari Cooper, yes, pay this man. He's a top 5 receiver in the NFL. No questions asked. He's a top 5 receiver. He had a hell of a game last week against a fairly good cornerback in Jair Alexander and a pretty good defense in the Packers, but this guy is really good. Sign him. Melvin Gordon, no. I'd rather have Eckler over Melvin Gordon. Call me crazy. This is the 5th call me crazy, but I'd rather have Melvin Gordon over Austin Eckler over Melvin Gordon. Eckler can do a lot more. He's not the better runner, but the game is changing, folks. The game is changing. No one gives a damn about running downfield. No one gives a damn about you chucking guys anymore. It's all the pass catching, the PPR points. Can your guy catch the ball? Why do you think Christian McCaffrey's so good? It's not because of his dynamic running. It's because he can catch the ball, goddamn. Because he can catch the ball. Derrick Henry, yes. For what I saw from Derrick Henry out of college and even through the draft process, I saw Eddie Lacy 2.0. Overweight, but he's controlled that very well, and he's a great runner. He's done very well. Very well. Very surprised from Derrick Henry, especially this year. Andrew Whitworth, the left tackle for the Los Angeles Rams, I'd give him a 2-year deal. He's 33, maybe in 34. Look at him to around these 35, maybe even 36. But it's worth it. He's one of the better tackles in the league. And the guy's a giant, and he's got to have a leadership role in that young Sean McVay offense. But Brandon Sheriff, the Redskins' right guard, the Redskins need him back. They need him back for them to be successful anytime soon, folks. They really need this guy back. They really do. Really do. Number 10, Jadeveon Clowney, yes, give him money. He's in the quarterback's face every play. Marcus Peters, no. Marcus Peters is one of the overrated quarterbacks, in my opinion. Every time I watch a Rams game, and they're always on prime time these days because everyone wants to see Sean McVay in that dynamic offense, they're always on defense, and he gets burned. We'll see, though. Number 12, the final ones, Kendall Fuller. And I think Kendall Fuller, I'm going to give you yes, and I'm going to say who he should sign with. Kendall Fuller should sign with the Dolphins. They'd be fairly back, you could say. Not back until they get Tua or even a quarterback in the upcoming draft. They got to get a quarterback. They got to address that situation badly. Maybe even a left tackle because they traded Laramie Tunsil to Texas. But they also have 3 first-round picks this year. One from my Pittsburgh Steelers. But they gave away Minka Fitzpatrick, who is a big loss in that secondary. Kendall Fuller, nonetheless, is a great player. He's a slot corner. He'll fit in with Xavier Howard nicely, and that will establish, it will set the tone for the Dolphins. It will set the tone for the Dolphins and their future because Kendall Fuller is relatively young. I think he's 25, maybe even 26 years old. So it'd be a good option for the Dolphins now and even for the future. Game picks, fellas! Pats and Giants. I'm giving this one 31-13 Pats. I think not much explaining. Not much. It's the Patriots. It's the Patriots. Bucks and Panthers, 26-21 Bucks. That game's on NFL Network at 9:30 in the morning because it's in London. But the Bucks, they showed up at the Panthers last week. They shut Christian McCaffrey down, and I think they won't shut him down, but they'll limit his carry, especially from last week. But we'll see what Christian McCaffrey do. But we'll see what they can do. But I'm choosing the Bucks to win 26-21. Saints and Jags, I'm picking the Saints to win 27-17. Teddy Bridgewater remains perfect in his first couple NFL starts. He's played above par, and that's all you need to be in the NFL to win games. Redskins and Dolphins, battle of Tua Tagovailoa. I'm going to pick the Redskins. We'll win this game 14-9. More experience on the defense, a better defense overall. And then Case Keenum will have a pretty good game. Ravens and Bengals, 28-14. The Ravens will win this game. Lamar Jackson will kind of bounce back from not a struggle, but not up to par last week with the Steelers. And but I think the Ravens will bounce back and move to 4-2 in the division. The Seahawks and Browns, I got the Seahawks winning this game 23-18. I think that Jadeveon Clowney has a big game. And I think they'll be in Baker Mayfield's face, and they'll be frustrating him. Odell Beckham's not going to get the ball that much. I think this game's going to be the Seahawks winning 23-18. The Eagles and Vikings, I got the Eagles winning 26-13. A lot better team, a lot better quarterback, a lot better coach than the Vikings organization. Eagles trying to kind of finding their stride after the, you could say surprising 1-2 start coming in with Super Bowl expectations. Texans and Chiefs, I got the Chiefs winning this game 33-31 on a Harrison Butker field goal. I think the Chiefs will be, a little better than the Texans. I think Deshaun Watson will make a mistake late in the fourth quarter, and it will cost them, and the Chiefs will set up for a game-winning Harrison Butker field goal. Cardinals and Falcons, I got the Falcons winning this game 37-31 in overtime, so they'll score a game-winning touchdown. And I think Cardinals defense has been struggling. I think this game's going to be a shootout fantasy points-wise. There's going to be a lot of players in fantasy that will have fairly good games, and you guys should check this game out. It might be at 425, but nonetheless, Rams and Niners, I got the Rams winning this game 28-24. I think they bounced back. I think the Niners haven't really played that many opponents. I mean, they played 3 AFC North teams, and then they played the Buccaneers. But if they're 4-0, you got to respect them. But I think the Rams their offense will, be up to par. in this game, and they'll win 28-24 in this game. Titans and Broncos, I got the Broncos winning 21-13. Titans organization is just awful at this point. So average, and it's just so boring to watch. I would hate to be a Tennessee Titans fan. Broncos, they got the win last year in Los Angeles versus Chargers. That's going to give them confidence, especially going up against a below-average team in the Titans. I think they'll take care of business, winning 21-13. I got the Cowboys beating the Jets 35-14. Not much to say about this game, but the Jets suck. Steelers and Chargers, I got the Chargers winning this game 28-10. And it pains me to say that because I'm a Steelers fan, but it's the truth. Chargers are going to win this game. Devlin Hodges isn't the answer. I got the Lions and Packers. I got the Packers winning 31-20. I think, they'll be better than the Lions pretty much. I don't think Matt Patricia will have an answer for Aaron Rodgers and his and Matt LaFleur at this point. And I think Matt Stafford will struggle, especially on the road in that Monday night environment down there in Lambeau. Some hot takes for you guys. I think Michigan basketball will be a 4 seed. As you may know, I'm a Michigan fan. I've been a Michigan fan all my life. Michigan basketball, obviously, John Beilein leaving, but they got former Fab 5 star Juwan Howard. I think the one thing Juwan Howard's going to get right, he's going to pay. He's going to pay. John Beilein seemed like he didn't pay. He didn't bite on a lot of recruits either. Juwan Howard's just throwing out recruits right and left, and I think that would be benefit the Michigan pretty well. But I think Michigan will be a 4 seed this year, might even win the Big Ten. I think Devlin Hodges will get hurt and Paxton Lynch will come in and lead the Steelers to a victory. Paxton Lynch, the 6'7" quarterback out of Memphis. I love that man. Charlie and I, my partner Charlie, we would always play Madden together, and we would do this draft, right? And we would always draft, our favorite players and stuff. And we would kind of wait on quarterbacks because, quarterbacks, you get the mobile quarterback and you're kind of good at Madden, but I would always choose Paxton Lynch. He's so big. He's okay in Madden, but he was 6'7", and we had this, thing where we'd say, the 6'7" quarterback, Paxton Lynch. And then we would all go nuts. So it was fun. But I think Paxton Lynch could come in if Hodges gets hurt and maybe even do not a bad job. So that's going to wrap up Sports Hits with cwit. I think this is episode 4, maybe even 5. This is going so quickly, boys. Thank you so much for listening in. Make sure to stay on top of sports news and follow Steel City Sport 4 on Twitter. And make sure to go look at my other podcast. Link will be, you already have the link. So you can click on Spotify, go on any of those. And we're on a couple new apps now. I think Apple Podcasts, but I'm not sure. Follow me on Twitter, Steel City Sport 4. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday, guys.